Diggs Nation.
Tonight on Peanut Butter Magic, we're discussing about going back to college as an adult. And we got a special guest, my homie I-Born. Stay tuned.
It's the Peanut Butter Magic Show. It's the Peanut Butter Magic Show.
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Everything is good, man. How you?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Titans
Word
won
up.
today, so I'm excited.
I know.
It sounded stressful at the end, so I'm glad they made it.
It was a little intense, but that's why I was a little late calling you because it was so close. I had to see it all the way through. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Tighten up out there. Tighten up. Yeah. I mean? Well, speaking of the Titans, we're gonna be talking about tonight what it's like going back to college as an adult. Now, and we're not talking about your traditional 2-year or 4-year university type college. We're talking about the school of hard knocks. We're talking about the culture. We're talking about the music biz, hip hop. That's what we mean by college tonight. You know, so many people start out very young, big dreams, big aspirations of wanting to have a career in the music business, you know. And as many of you indie artists out there know, it can be very tough to break in. But imagine actually breaking through and then having to have your career and then having to stop and come back second time around many, many years later. There's tons of people out there that sit on the sidelines and would love to want to get back in the swing of things, miss the limelight, the going and cutting records, the marketing and promotions aspect, but you know, they get a family or get a job or you know, father time creeps up on them and they start thinking, you know, well, maybe my time is up. Maybe my time is came and gone. And they won't even try. But that's not our guest tonight. Our guest tonight went back to being a father, being a husband, you know what I mean? Going out, supporting his family, doing that whole thing. Now he's back, making it hot. And I wanted to talk to him tonight about that journey. So it is my honor, it is my privilege to introduce to you my main man, I-Born. I-Born is in the building. What's happening,
Peace, man? Man, beloved, I'm great, man. I'm honored, I'm humbled. Thank you for having me on your podcast. This is beautiful right here. Greatly appreciate the love and the energy. I'm just looking forward, brother, to just having robust dialogue and just building, just letting it out for the people.
Beautiful,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely.
We're honored to have you. As a matter of fact,
For sure.
you're our very first guest ever on our podcast.
Wow. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be many more after this, though, man. Let's open the floodgates, brother.
Let's do it.
Cherry popped.
So let's get to know I-Born a little bit, man. Tell the people out there that may not be that familiar with you who I-Born is.
Yeah. I-Born is the good, beloved brother, born and raised in money earning Mount Vernon, the hometown that gave birth to great legends like Heavy D, rest in peace, Albie Shaw, Denzel Washington, Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Case, Stephanie Mills, and other phenomenons that came out from that town.
Denzel.
Denzel, the great Denzel, Denzel is tight with the fam, Mount Vernon's a small town, 4.4 square miles, and as Have said, nothing but love.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah. So let's talk about hip hop a little bit, Born. When do you feel like you first fell in love with the culture?
Man, fell in culture a long time ago, you know, but
Yeah.
LL,
Yeah.
him and LL Cool J is what really made me fall into the culture. You know, I'm a huge fan of LL Cool J, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Let's be clear with that. And then it goes back to the journey with Rakim. You know, I'm from the era of real hip hop. Kane,
Right.
KRS-One, Public Enemy, EPMD, Cool G Rap. You know, so back then is when I really fell in love with, you know, with the culture of hip hop. You know, it was that feeling back then of music was just so incredible. You know, just to think about it, I get goosebumps about, you know, how it was when I first heard LL. You know, I really wanted to be like L. Wanted to travel out to Queens and Farmers Boulevard and find him. Wanted to copy Kango.
Word up.
Wanted to make a demo and go down to Def Jam and you know, try to find Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin. You know, so very inspirational from LL. You know,
Yeah.
fall in love with the culture.
So when did that transition over to maybe you wanting to take a shot at it? How young were you when you first dipped your toe in the water?
Well, I started making demos that we called them back in 1987. You know, I was making demos back then with Spunk Bigger. You know, once I heard it, I knew I just wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to be an entertainer. Just constantly trying to write and develop and nurture my craft. I also DJ'd as well.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, the DJing is what really evolved into the music. Because once I had the records and I'm playing the records and I'm playing LL's records and I'm listening to them and the impact that it had on me, I transitioned really from the DJing over to writing rhymes.
Okay.
And that's where it started from there.
Okay. So you said you worked with Spunk Bigger. Was he like the way that you got introduced into the actual industry? How did that happen for you?
Well, no, I worked with Spunk. How I got introduced into the industry was actually with Damien D.O. Bly.
Okay.
Damien D.O. Bly, and that was Heavy D's right-hand man. He was the vice president of Universal Artist Development. D.O. was responsible for the acts of Pete Rock and CL Smooth, AZ. I mean, the list goes on with D.O. And D.O. heard something that I did. I put something on Hot 97 from Future Flavors with Marley Marl and Pete Rock. And the freestyle was so incredible that D.O. sent up my boy Jig to find me. And he was like, yo, you know, bring Till I Born. I want to sign him, bring him down in the office. And that right then and there was like so mind-blowing because for me to be able to really go down to a record label, you know, to go to Universal, to really just open the doors up and like, wow, like you know, this is for real right here.
Yeah, I know.
You know the feeling. So I'm going inside.
I remember my first time going to Universal, man. I remember back when Universal MCA was in the same building downtown.
Absolutely,
man.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Kathy Baylor was the A&R at that time and whatnot. So yeah, I remember trips
right
down
on Broadway,
57th
and Broadway.
Absolutely.
So, you know, just to go in there and sit back and like, yo, wow, these are where the ideas are produced that gave birth to these acts there. Because at that time, Mr. Cheeks was there, Cannabis was there, Herb McGruff was there, Chico DeBarge was there. It was a few acts was floating around there, but it was incredible to just be able to walk into a real record label and sit inside an office and discuss signing and making music. You know, it was just the biggest thing in the world for me.
Let's back it up just a little bit. Now, when like right before you got signed, what was that magic moment to where like someone that could actually help you took notice?
I believe I did this song with Herb McGruff, Killer Cam, Panama PI, and the song got played on Hot 97. And we were standing outside, and you know what it is for when you know the radio station is going to play a record. And at that time, DJ Clue was the biggest thing on Monday nights.
Absolutely.
Clue played all the exclusive things right there. And when Clue played that, it just went haywire. It just get haywire. After that, I'm sitting up at Atlantic Records in Craig Calvin's office, you know, talking about doing remixes with Brandy. Rob Tulo was the A&R at that time. He actually gave me my first budget to do a demo.
Okay.
We did a 10-song, I think we did about 10-song EP. I had RZA. RZA did a song, Top 5, Track Masters. Tony Dovat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave anybody else. Spunk did something, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, for somebody to believe in you like that, and things were just spiraling out, and that's when it got noticed by KRS-One.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your relationship with KRS. Like, how did that blossom into him saying, "All right, man, you know, I'm gonna take a shot"? Because you didn't know KRS-One prior to that, right?
Just a huge fan of KRS-One.
Right.
And it's funny, even though that record was moving in the streets, I did this record with this sister named Glaze. And I can't say what I said on the record.
No doubt.
So go ahead. Let's hear it. Come on.
yeah. I mean, it was just crazy, right? So so somebody like KRS-One, how lyrical he is, for him to be attracted, I'll say it off, I'll tell you the rhyme offline, to this one thing. He said, yo, when I heard that, I said, that of all things, you like that? You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, I just thought it was crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. If you like it, I love it, whatever. What we doing? You know, he said, listen, man, I've just been named the president of Reprise Records. I want to sign you. I want to sign you directly. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, you know, I went to meet his people at Eddie F's house in Jersey, Eddie F's mansion in Jersey. And we started talking about some things. And, you know, from there, you know, fly out to LA to Warner Brothers and, you know, get it going. Well, no, pardon me, let me wind that back. After that, KRS-One flew into New York. And he said, listen, I'm going up to Hot 97 to Funkmaster Flex and Freestyler. I'm going to bring you up there. So now, you know, it went from cold to hot. I'm like, what?
Right.
You know, so it's like, okay, let's see what made of it. You know, I had the opportunity. I went up to Flex. We aired it out. And then after that, he flew me out to LA, and then we started working on the paperwork to the contract.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quick, bro. It was quick. Really quick.
So what happened after that? Because I've seen, you know, some of your earlier records on YouTube and things of that nature. So what was life after signing with KRS-One like? What did that look like?
I mean, you know, you're dealing with a brother that I really felt I had a point to prove. I wanted to prove all the haters wrong. I wanted to prove the doubters wrong. People that, you know, that didn't believe in me. I had just something to prove. So I just had a different type of energy. I don't think it was the best energy that I had to get a huge signing advance. What I got, you know, kind of just, you know, put your mindset somewhere else. And it really took away to me from the art form that I wanted to do. So we started working on the album, and the album was all right. It really was not the album that I would have made if I would have stayed with D.O. You know, it was just totally two different types of music. You know, KRS-One had this vision of me being this type of rapper, and it really took away from me my creativity, what I wanted to do. So, you know, I'm not going to say it was a conflict of interest, because I've also worked with his right-hand man, Willie D. He passed away. And, you know, we're trying to get these records done, and we did the Swarm record. And on the flip side of the Swarm record was a song called I Know. I Know was it was one of those revolutionary, aggressive hip-hop songs, just talking about liberation, talking about the culture, talking about prison, just talking about us as a people. And I thought that was the one to go with, but he wanted to go with the Swarm one. We shot a video, first time shooting a video, so I didn't really understand treatments and things of that nature.
Right.
You know, because at that time, Hype Williams was balling.
Right.
A few other, Billy Woodruff, I think those guys. So I got this guy named Jeremy Raw. You might have heard of Jeremy. We shot the video. It was all right. You know, overall, I thought it could have been a lot better, but I was very grateful for the opportunity to be around KRS-One, because I learned some things.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
how can you know?
It was a very teachable moment, you know, especially when we made the record together, to be in the studio with him and watch him not write. Well, I'm sitting there writing and he's not writing, and come up with some, you know what I'm saying? Swallow to come up with something mind-blowing like that. I'm just sitting there looking at him like you the truth.
Right.
You know, so I don't hold KRS-One accountable for anything that happened with my career. You know, there were other things that happened, but yeah, that was pretty much it. Just moving around, and I was out in LA a lot. I was out in Hollywood a lot, you know, doing a lot of things out there. So I mean, it was good. It was good. That experience was great.
Right.
Very great experience.
You got anything to say before we move on?
Yeah, it blows my mind when an artist gets signed and then the label or the producer, whoever's involved, takes that style that they went for and tries to change it and turn it into something else. Like you're talking about the style that you had in New York, and then you got signed and you went out to LA, right? And it was a totally different version of hip hop. And as someone who also writes not much music, but like screenplays and videos, to then be edited and told that, you know, you need to write something else because this is not the kind of style that we do here. Like, why'd you hire me in the first place? So hearing you say that, it gets to me every time because it just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's real like that. I mean, you see a lot of artists go through that, and the funny thing about that is when we signed a Reprise, they didn't have an urban department in LA. The urban department was in New York, but I wasn't signed to the one in New York. I was signed to the one in Burbank. So a lot of the so-called artist development came from KRS's right-hand man, Willie D. And I'm like, you know what? You know, you're really not street. You're older than me. You really don't know what's going on out in the street, but you have this vision of me rhyming like this. I just more so think that it was more money involved because nobody that was signed to KRS-One at that, nobody came out. All right, I was signed. It was another artist named, Pharrell was signed. I was signed, and I'm talking about 5-year deals, like, you know, five album deals. He signed Kumo D. And when he did that, I was like, yo, you signed, you know, like, this dude's kind of old, you know what I'm saying? You signed Kool Herc, and he was like, you know what? He said hip hop owes them. So, you know, KRS-One is big on hip hop. He felt, he felt that they owed Moti, they owed Kool Herc, gave them a lot of money. Of course, they wasn't coming out with no money, so you already know what happened with that. You hold that. Right. And I think everything got caught up in there when the actual president of Warner Brothers was like, okay, we gave you X amount of dollars. You gave this guy this budget, you gave that guy this budget, you put this out, you put that, they didn't see anything coming back in off of the music. Now it's like, you know what? I think we're going to, they went to go fire him, and of course he resigned in the fashion that he did, that he didn't get terminated, and that's kind of what happened, and we all fell to the rabbit hole with him. You know what that?
My story is very similar to that. So similar.
Right. I could have stayed on the label to just say, what, okay, I'm not born, I'm signed to Warner Brothers, and be stuck in limbo and not be able to work, have no budget, just being on the shelf, and then somebody would try to have you, we got to buy you out of this contract. It was just too much, and that really killed my spirit. Like, it really killed my spirit, but the end result was that it was a law's design for that to happen. You know, it was to show me something. It was to teach me something. It was to guide me and keep me away from something. Because if I would have stayed with that Dale family, I don't think I would have had my family. I wouldn't have had my wife. So, you know, to me, saying this now is the most important thing is, you know, for me to have my wife and my children over a record deal that could have really just totally destroyed me. And who say I would be right here, right now, having this interview with you guys? Absolutely.
Man. So let's talk. Let's talk about life after KRS-One. Did y'all split up amicably?
Yeah, it was all love. I mean, because when I heard about it, it was like, yo, they about to fire him. And you know, I guess he got wind of it, and you know, he resigned. And I called him, and he said, yo, I'm gonna fly you out. And he flew me out there. I never forget that day. To this day, I've always wondered how the hell we got there. You know where the Hollywood sign at is in Los Angeles? If you on Gower, you can see it. He knew the back ways. Picked me up in the range, just talking to me. We went up there, literally by it. And he was like, yo, this is what's going on. I'm leaving. I'm paraphrasing. I really don't want to leave you for dead. You can stay signed, or I can cut you a check and let you go. And then you can go and pursue your career if you want to go try to get another deal. And I looked at it, and, you know, I'm like, all right, I definitely needed the money, definitely needed the money. So I said, all right, cool. So, I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, I had nothing bad to say about KRS-One.
Very good.
At all.
Very good.
At all. He gave me an opportunity. He gave me a chance. And that was that.
Okay.
So after that happened, I came back to New York. I wound up getting up with Uncle Ray. He was managing DMX at the time. DMX was on fire. And he had an independent deal. I can't remember who these people were with. And he said, yo, I want to sign you. They even went so far as to try to get my album from Warner Brothers, but it didn't work out like that. I did a couple of songs. And after that, I was like, yo, the hell with this. I was just totally like, the hell with this.
Yeah.
Because it took away, as a producer, it took away the passion.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
I didn't want to write about anything. I was embarrassed to really feel like I've come so far. And now, one thing when you do that, you're in the public's eye. Everybody can see you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can see your trials.
Mm-hmm.
They can see you triumph. They can see everything. So for people to watch me kind of like go up and then go down, it really did something to me. It really did something to me. And immediately after that, I joined the Nation of Islam, and then my life just elevated and went up.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing better for myself, and I wound up getting a career job. And I tried to do. Matter of fact, I got a little inspiration.
Okay.
And I did a mixed CD called Gods and Generals. I took some of the records that was on the Warner Brothers. I took maybe like 3 of them that I thought was fire, and I did some freestyles. It was dope. It got received well, and that was it. I just disappeared.
Now, you were able to find your peace in that time too, right?
So much peace, brother. So much peace.
Now, is that the time when you started your family? What happened after that? What did you do?
Well, no. Well, my daughter was, not to cut you off, beloved. My daughter was born in '96. My son was actually born in 2000. Okay. And that was around the time when all this deal was going on and everything. So, my youngest daughter was born in 2004. And I just tried to concentrate on them. Now, remember, but within that same time, when the deal went bad, is when the Rough Riders Thug Workout came into play. Okay. So that right there, that like I said, Suelo, that's all. That has a whole nother mind of its own when we start to talk about the fitness situation like that.
But give him a little bit though. Just give him a little bit of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So if anybody knows, I am like the originator of this pull-up technique that was that Rough Riders had put a DVD out called Thug Workout.
Oh, for real?
Go look at. Yeah. So go back and look up Thug Workout, and I'm like, I don't like to use the word the star, but that was the elite one on there, and from what I did, spawned crews all over the world to do a certain type of calisthenics. I taught everybody you don't have to go inside of a gym to work out. You can go inside of a park. And they came up with the term thug workout. And I mean, I'm known all over because of that DVD. I'm talking about Germany and Australia, and I mean just some places. Everybody knows I'm born from that thug workout thing right there. So if you get a chance, people just go look it up. And then I was also in another DVD called Our World is a Gym, and it had all sorts of calisthenic greats from overseas in Europe to everywhere. And it all pointed back to the one that started, your good brother I-Born from Thug Workout.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
It's on YouTube, boss. You can go and check him out. Just Google it on YouTube. It's there. I've seen quite a few videos. You'll see some people in there that you recognize too. Let me tell you.
Okay.
I don't talk like that no more. So you got to excuse. I don't talk like that no more. But it was pretty vulgar, brother. It was pretty rough.
Hey.
It served its purpose, though.
Yeah. That's gotta be stressful though. Like I'm glad that you were able to work things out with KRS-One and you were able to come back to New York and focus on your family, but to get an opportunity like that and then to be in the driver's seat as it all kind of falls apart, maybe not the driver's seat because you weren't in control, but at least in the vehicle watching it happen, and then have to go back home and then figure out what you're going to do next. Like, I can't even imagine the stress. It's almost like getting promoted and then you go in on your first day and they're like, never mind.
Yeah, you know what it was? Like I said, to me, I think it was more embarrassing to me because, you know, just it was to do that, didn't have to go, you know, go get a job making $7 an hour.
Sure.
You know, it was very, very, very humbling. You know, trying to work 2 jobs and just trying to provide for your family. You know, I don't know if I told you the story, Swalo. I used to work at the YMCA. After that, I was doing like maintenance in there, and a good friend of mine, his name is Top Cat. Top Cat and Jadakiss are very, very cool. I mean, I've known Kiss and everything. So on the weekends, I used to get all of them. Man, there'd be about 20 of them. They used to come into the YMCA to play basketball. Kiss know about, you know, the music. I was actually supposed to be doing something with them once upon a time. And I'll never forget Kiss sitting on the floor. I guess they played basketball. He's sitting on the floor. And I walked by and I had a broom. And I know he looked at me. And I know he was like, damn. Like, he's like, Abon, you don't rap no more? I was like, nah, not really. You know, he's like, yo, man, if you ever need anything from me, man, you know, holla at me. And to me, I took from that like he felt bad for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To see me come from there to there. But things turned around with
psyche, man. What did that do to your psyche?
I think I was so I think, you know, by that time, you know, the nation had my head on so right that it really didn't bother me.
Okay, good.
You know, it didn't bother me. You know, but I knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's like as if he felt sorry for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, like I said, you know, my humility allowed me and my discipline to move around that and navigate from it. But the average person looking in, it might have just destroyed them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure.
It might have destroyed them. So I thank Allah much for putting something in me, you know, to discipline me and keep my mind straight and guide it correctly. Whereas I didn't let that break me down and fold me.
Words bond.
You know, because I was really concentrating more on myself and strengthening myself, strengthening my spirit, my belief, and everything. So I was somewhere different when that happened. So, you know, me and Kiss gonna talk about that the next time I see him.
Dig that.
Yeah. Man, so you start working at the Y, you move on to a couple other things, you fall into your career that you've been at for a while, as I understand it. Did you ever put the pen down? Because I've heard the new music and it don't sound like you just started writing again. So that's what I'm really curious about is like, would you still go home and work on some songs, even though probably not going to go anywhere, but that creative mind, it can't just shut off, right?
It didn't shut off, but I ran from it.
Oh.
You know, it was always working. I mean, in my dreams, I would create some of the greatest rhymes in the world, and I would purposely wake up and not remember them. People would always come at me with music. Yo, Abon, you should do this. I'm like, I'll do that. No. You know what I'm saying? And then I tried to do something. You know, everything's a muscle. Your body has muscle memory. Your mind has muscle memory. Cadence, everything it's a rhythm. I remember I did try something to do a song. Didn't come out so good. Didn't come out so good. You know, when I never forget recording the record, they was like, "Yo, man, where's the old iPod at?" That's a nice way you tell me how much trash.
Yeah.
It's garbage. You know, so like, all right, but guess what that did? That made me go even more like, I ain't never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. So 2016.
Okay.
They did this song called the Murderville Anthem. At once upon a time, we called Mount Vernon Murderville, and I was one of those brothers that was responsible for that. And you know, Mount Vernon had a crazy murder rate, and you know, you just think about how ignorant are when you're young. You hold some things in high regard because we always felt that Mount Vernon got overlooked. We always felt that, you know, Mount Vernon, you thought Mount Vernon was soft and You know, he thought that, you know, we was upstate. So we just really tried to just take on this persona, but it was so immature. But with that being said, we did a song called Murderville Anthem. Well, they did a song at this particular time, and they were supposed to be getting the quote-unquote elite rappers from Mount Vernon. So one of my old partners, Kid Jay, said, yo, did you hear what's going on? He said, yo, the Great Mind, they on Facebook Live right now, and they doing this Murderville Anthem joint. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. All right, cool. So I happened to just go on it, and they was like, yeah, this is Mount Vernon's best MCs. And I said, keep in mind, this is my cousin that produced the joint, right? I got you your first industry check.
Right.
Flew you out to LA, had you in the best hotels on Sunset Boulevard, and you ain't even called me.
Right.
Started to mess with me a little.
Right.
I started to mess with me. I said, okay. So I rode through the block and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put my 7-Up team back together. We're gonna body y'all. He's like, yo. He's like, nah, don't do that. Nah, you know, whatever. So it was so funny. They shot the video. I came to support. Supported the video, and I'm sitting there looking at him like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I'll murder this beat. I'm like, I'll kill this beat. Now keep in mind, this is 2016. I probably haven't written a rhyme. Maybe 7 years, 9 years. So something went wrong with a part of the video, where one of the brothers' video, where his part wasn't filmed. I mean, it was crazy. The energy, people was out there, it was bananas. Do all that to find out that your part, they didn't record your part. So when they asked him to shoot it over, he's like, yo, call y'all. I'm not doing that. Another brother did something and he didn't even, it just got crazy. So I get a phone call. Yo, fam, what up? That was good. Yo, I need you. What's new? You always need me. What's up? That's how it goes. Like, you always need me. What's up? Yo, I need you to write a verse for the Murderville Anthem. And I'm like, oh, really? I said, now y'all need me? We went through the whole thing. So I said, all right, send me the beat. I kid you not. I got off work. I went in the room. I wrote the rhyme in probably 3 minutes and I fell asleep. And the next day I went and laid it. The day after that we did the video. And like that, everybody was like, yo, you're still fucking amazing. Like,
right.
Yo, this is crazy. It's like, and now I'm sitting there like, oh, I still got it. You know, yo,
That's the shoulders off.
Yo. I danced on the joint and everybody was calling me like, yo, why you kill him like that? Then we did the video and I'm like, all right, let me throw the mink on, let me throw the leather on, let me just bring it all back. Excuse me. So I did it and I'm like, you know, it was dope. Fell back again. So my son, at this time, his name is Lord Taylor. He's a fan of hip hop, loves music. And, you know, I knew he was writing a little bit, but to see your son, Swalo, you know this firsthand, Swalo is an artist. You know, to see your son doing something that you're so passionate about or been passionate about for years, I'm sitting there looking at him and, you know, he's not really saying much or nothing. I'm like, yo, say the rhyme. Him and his friend, they were forming a group. And I'm like, okay, like you really like rap like that. And like, yeah. So we went to a summer jam and I knew he was a big G Unit fan. And I'll never forget this day. So we're inside the summer jam and 50 Cent came out. And this is the time when Young Buck got back with him. It's the first time Buck got back with him. He was at this particular one. And when Lloyd Banks came out, my son lost his mind. So now I'm sitting there looking at my son like, yo, you really into this? Like he knew all Lloyd Banks rhymes, knew all the 50s rhymes. So I'm just sitting there looking at him like, wow, this is dope. Like you really like this, you know what I'm saying? And then Buck come out. He was telling me what was going to happen. So there's a whole other side coming out to my son. I'm like, oh wow, like you've been sneak listening and sneak writing all this time. So as that goes on, my son, we go to LA, we take him to Los Angeles for his 16th birthday. We went over to this big skating roller rink over there. He met this guy who wound up being his business partner, and they were talking, and then my son just got fed up with like living upstate, and he's like, yo, I want to go to LA. And I'm like, you know, he's 18 years old, you just want to leave like that? long story short, he's left. He's been on his own. He's 22 now. He's been doing great. And he dropped a EP called Fly Days. And when I heard it, I'm just sitting there, not as, just because he's my son, but I'm like, yo, you nice.
Yeah.
I'm listening to him put the words together. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
And it just as a father, right? It did something to me to watch him.
I know the feeling too, man. Trust me, I know the feeling, man.
So right after that, things started going on. Things started going on. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And I'm more like I'm spontaneous. I just do it. I just woke up, I told my wife, I said, yo, I'm gonna put this song together. And I'm gonna get these artists and we're gonna do it. And that's where the 9 song came from. So I went to get some of Mount Vernon's best artists. And I said, this is the only thing that's gonna push me over the top. If I could get on here, not to compete, but we all know hip hop is competitive. But if I can stand with these young boys, problem.
Yeah.
And I put the video together. I, just did everything with my man GQ. Got Ghostface in the video, and it just worked out to my favor. Just everybody was like, when they saw it, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, yo, like he's back.
Yeah.
He's
you went
back.
back to school. You went back to school on it.
I went back to school. I watched my son go to school, and then I said, you know what? Let me go put my application in, and let's see if they'll take the old head freshman, back in the game. And it was perceived pretty good. And then after that, when I started that, I didn't think of nothing of it. Like I had no in my mind, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And everybody's like, yo, man, you should do something. And now in this time, the digital world kicks in.
Right. That
I'm
was what I was gonna ask next. Yeah.
I'm lost.
What was different? What was different from when you were rocking with KRS-One till when you said, I might take another shot at this? What was the difference?
Well, you got a machine behind you for one at a label.
Right.
You do the record gets mixed and mastered, then it goes to marketing promotion, and there's a campaign and that. So now it was like that. Now I'm like, it's like, nah, they got these independent spots, we could throw the joint on DistroKid. And I'm like, yo, tell us DistroKid.
Right. Yeah, you called to ask me.
I'm like, yo, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So, he was like, yo, we're gonna do splits and we're gonna do this. So now I'm having to learn, like, this is crazy. So right after that, I said, all right, let me do another record. I'm still a man to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I said, all right, I'm gonna do all white background, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And the joint came out dope. Now I'm like, do something with this. So within that time, I linked in with Swalo. I got connected with him. And, Swalo's pretty advanced, with this digital stuff. So I'm picking his mind like, what the hell is this?
Right.
What the hell is that? And he said, yo, this is this. This is that. Yo, you could do this. You could do that. And I'm like, yeah? I'm like, you sure? He said, I'm telling you, yo, you never know. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now, then I just started making records. And, Swalo blessed me with a phenomenal beat. Phenomenal beat. And that beat has Ghostface Killer on there from the Wu-Tang Clan. And,
it's
that
fire
was
too, man.
Thank you. The Swalo will tell you, that was a hell of a journey with that record, right, Swalo?
Man. Oh, my goodness. It got to the point where Cass was like, you ain't got no record coming with Ghostface. And I'm like, man, just watch. Just watch. And then I just stopped saying stuff altogether. I'm like, I'm just going to hit him in the head. When the time comes, I'm just going to hit him in the head with it. You know what I mean?
I told Swalo, I said, I'm going to get Ghost on this. She's like, word? I said, yeah. So, which we started doing that in February, right?
Like end of January, first by February.
Yeah. So I got him the record, and he's moving around. And now this is another thing about me. I got relationships with guys, but it's not more so music relationships. So I had to really sit back and like, yo, this guy's really busy. Or because at the end of the day, it's not okay. It's not that he didn't want to do it. So here we go. February goes by. March goes by.
Yep.
April goes by. Oh, my man, I stress the hell out of my brother. Oh, I love you. May comes out. I was like, yo, I ain't getting involved with this. you got Ghost's number, and I just didn't really want to keep calling nobody.
Yeah.
So Ghost's birthday, is in May. So
Right.
long story short, I told Swalo, I said, Swalo, I'm going to the party,
Yep.
get with him, and so I got with him. But it's his birthday, so I can't be like, yo, what's up with the round? So I gotta be like, but he told me, he's like, yo, I got you. I'm like, okay.
And see, and that's just having your face in the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Strategy, or as I say, strategy.
Absolutely. So then what's Swalo? We got April,
Yep.
we got June.
Mhm.
When do we get the vocals? In July, August.
August.
Holy shit. So he called, so he hit me back. He said, who's this? I said, yo, it's me, it's our phone. He's like, yo, pardon me, Ak, I lost my phone. No, I didn't lose my phone. Something happened to his phone. Da-da-da-da-da. He said, yo, send me the beat. All right, I'm going to the studio. That's the Swalo. We got action,
Yep.
baby. We got action.
Yep.
I said, we got action. So I know Swalo probably said,
No,
Still ain't going out
because everything that was happening around that,
right.
you were manifesting. You know what I mean? Like it was all coming. There wasn't, the only thing that wasn't happening was the Ghostface record. But everything else that you opened your mouth to say would go down. So
Right,
it,
right,
it
yes,
made
all
me
praises due.
a believer. I was like, Ghost may not cut the record today, but he ain't lied about nothing yet. And everything that he said, he has delivered on. So I knew it was a matter of time. That was my attitude. You hadn't sold me any wolf tickets. You know what I mean?
I was stressed out though. Because you remember, so here's the thing. We're gonna backtrack, right, man? And so that's when they came out with United Masters with Steve Style. So I'm like, yo, Swalo, yo, man, I think I'm just going, I'm gonna just put this body of work together. We just gonna drop it on there. And, Swalo's like, yo, we can do this, we can do this, we can do that. So then same thing. I went to go see AZ at a party in April. I didn't get the vocals from A until goddamn September.
September, yep. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So he had COVID and
Yeah, he had some things, but we got the verse and we got the verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Styles was the quickest turnaround, so we said we are gonna do something, and that's when my bro called me and said, yo, what you plan on doing with this? Like, yo, I'm gonna drop this on United Masters, yada yada. He said, yo, I want you to talk to my guy first, man, over at 1 RPM. He said, just talk to him. And then I wound up getting COVID after the Styles video.
Right, yep. Mm-hmm.
So then they called me on the phone and I couldn't talk to him. So when I talked to him, he just really made things so crystal clear to me. And, I just told Swalo, I texted him the other day, I said, could you imagine if, we'd have put this out?
Right.
I said, yo, I'd have been up the creek. Like, I got no traction.
Right.
I just sent Swalo something earlier. Top songs, is my song with Style.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, things are just, it's starting to move now. It's starting to move now. But, definitely want to thank my brother Swalo, man. It's my guy, good energy, man. Great spirit. Very knowledgeable. Just overall good dude, man. I thank a lot much for you, man. You're a great guy, brother. I'll tell you that to your face live on the air.
Absolutely.
You're a hell of a guy,
I appreciate
brother.
you, man. But you don't know, man, how much you've helped me in this time, man. Just being someone with like you call me like early in the morning, damn near every morning, and you talk like you've been up like it's noon. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy. It's been crazy because I've been dealing with some things as well, but you helped me keep my mind off of stuff. You know what I mean? You kept me busy this whole time, helped me keep my mind off of things. Your energy is infectious, man. It's contagious. I tell boss this all the time. You know what I mean? Your energy is contagious, and it carries over to everybody that I deal with throughout that day. You know what I mean? If you call me high-spirited, I'm high-spirited, so I'm screaming in the phone at the next motherfucker that I talk to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
I call Brandon early in the morning, too. I call him early in the morning. Like,
man, I just got off the phone with Ward. Let me tell you what happened.
That's love. So, the funny thing is when we were gonna drop and get everything going and everything, poor Swalo was stressed out of his mind. Something Swalo was walking around in the room, just going, what's going on? And I'm like, beloved. I said, Swalo, just relax, brother.
Yep.
I said, brother, just relax. But I don't see this. I don't see that. I said, brother, just relax. It's gonna happen. Yo, listen, man, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got 70-something hours, and I'm not seeing nothing until I got my A&R the line and said, yo, I want you to speak to my bro Swalo. He's out in Tennessee. I said,
Calm his ass the fuck down.
I said, this guy's a nervous freaking wreck. I told Swalo before we got on the phone, I said, listen, write all your questions down.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him everything right now. So when it was all said and done, I said, are you happy now?
Yeah.
Are you like, did you get, and Swalo was like, it was dope, blah, 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 and then here we are, off to the races, man.
It's beautiful. It's been a beautiful, beautiful journey, man. Beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
sir. Yes,
Beautiful.
sir. Definitely, man.
What's been some of the most surprising things that's happened to you as of recent? Anything knock your socks off?
Man, just to see how God is blessing me in this hour is surreal. Once you say tasted defeat so many times and failure so many times that you're hardwired to think that it can't happen. I really don't, because I remember I got so excited. I'll never forget. I got so excited with the Warner thing, and I just knew that was it. And my world got twisted upside down. So it's a part of me that won't let me.
Yeah.
It won't let me do that. So I'm just like, and I'm just watching everything happen.
Mm-hmm.
But to watch it happen from the Styles video,
Yeah.
it was gonna rain on that day.
Yep.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna rain on that day.
Mm-hmm.
God brought the sun out. The people came out. Not only did I get blessed with Styles P, but Jadakiss came through.
Yep.
And it was when I saw that, I'm like, it's getting a little different right now. The energy was so incredible. Then just to see the video, and then for things to come out and to get back with my old manager Damian Blyden,
Mm-hmm.
it feels good.
Yeah.
I'm in a very happy place. My wife always tells me, she says, Chad, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Yep.
You're not starving. You have a paycheck coming in every week.
Mm-hmm.
Your bills are paid. Make this fun.
Yep.
Let this be fun. Enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy what God is doing for you. And I'm like, okay.
And that's
Okay,
how you
so-
approach it too, man. You approach it like there's nothing to lose.
Right.
Absolutely nothing to lose. And that's what I tell a lot of artists that I come into contact with when I speak in regards to you. I say
Right.
what separates you from maybe them is that the hunger is still there, man. After all this time, the hunger. And I think that's the most attractive thing about you for me is the fact that
Right.
even though whatever happened in the past and now you're trying to get acclimated to the way things are now, the hunger is insane. I've never worked with anybody, that wants to eat as much as you do in the way that you do.
Thank
It's
you, brother.
insane.
Thank you, man. I give the glory to Allah, brother. So, it's deep, and as we're looking, it's another thing, Brandon. So Swalo, I just tell Swalo, I said, listen, man, stay up for Spotify,
Right.
stay up for YouTube.
Yep.
This guy's sending me, yo, what is this? I'm like, yo. I said, Swalo, I can't do the numbers thing because it's like, I just want to see it go.
Mhm.
And it's working, and it's working, and we're building momentum. And it's like now, you know what? Now I have to go into another gear now because I'm working on another record with Heatmakers.
Yeah.
I'm just now it's work mode time.
Yeah.
So I always tell Swalo, I'm like, yo, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to be an example that it's true that, you know, dreams don't have an expiration date.
Yeah.
Dreams do not have an expiration date. And I learned that, and God preserved me. He preserved my body, my appearance. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if I'd have been in the game all that time? I'd have probably looked like, man,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
You know? So when people find out my age, they like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know, I eat right, I think right, I pray right, I strive to be right. You understand what I'm saying? So all of those things just it did something for me. So it's like, you know, I always said like, you know, God was like, yo, you know what, bro, this ain't your time right here. I'm gonna put these seasonings on you. I'm gonna put you in the oven on a slow cook. I'm gonna slow cook this. I ain't gonna microwave you. I'm gonna slow cook you. I'm gonna let you go through your trials through life. I'm gonna let you fall. I'm gonna pick you back up. I'm gonna let you fall. But while I'm doing all that, I still got you in that oven slow cooking. And when it's time for the world to see you, I'm gonna take you out and prepare the meal for the masses. And this is where we at right now, brothers. This is where we at right now, you know?
It's deep.
Yeah.
So
What do you want to say to the young people, man? Do you feel like you can still compete with them, first of all?
I will say this one thing. I bust them ass straight up. This is ball play over here. Listen, we don't do that. We don't do that Simple Simon thing. Like, we vibe, man. And that's another dope thing because hip hop's 50th anniversary is upon us.
Right.
Hip hop is going back to the essence of bars. Love the young generation. I salute them. I can't be mad at them.
Right.
Because it was once upon a time that when Neil, check it out. When Nas came in, the older generation like, that ain't music.
Yep.
That ain't music. When Home came in, that ain't music. That ain't like the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yep.
That ain't like the Treacherous Three. Like, nah, like, you know, they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And they make music. This generation has mastered the art of making music. Now, to me, is there a difference between making a record
Right.
and music? There's a
Right.
difference. Song structure is different. Presentation is different.
Yep.
You know, Swalo, you know,
Absolutely.
SP1200, NPC. These dudes are making things on Fruity Loop and having a 100 million streams. This is a whole different thing right now. But to the young people, I tell them all, I love you all. If you're doing music, just make the best music you can make, man. Just try to have some subject and some subject matter, some content to it. Stay away from the violence and the gang talk, because you see the feds is coming at y'all with them Ricos, man. Y'all talking that crazy stuff. They're gonna take you up on everything you saying.
Yep.
They won't really see if you're about that smoke. If you're really about that gang, they're gonna take you there. And when they offer you them football numbers, we're gonna see if you still gang. You know, so just try to stay true to the culture, be the best you can be, set an example for those that's coming under you. Because there's a generation that's coming under this generation that's out now.
Right.
Be an example to them. Show some signs of leadership and you know, and bring the love back. Bring the love back. That's what I want to tell the young people. Stay inspired. Just be the best you can be. Good subject matter, good content, non-violent music. And let's just take music to a whole nother level, man. Let's make this music good to, you know, make it feel good again.
Yes.
Let's restore the feeling.
Let's restore the feeling.
I like it.
Swalo the host. My man Brandon was good.
Anything else you want to add, Brandon?
Man, I gotta say, I'm really inspired by your story today, though. Like, for real, just listening to the journey that you went on, where you're at today, just how excited that you are about it. Like, Sway talks about your energy when you call him on the phone. I hear about your energy constantly. And so just to see you here today, just like, you're all in, man. I love it. I love it. I think a lot of people, it's still a hobby for them. And I can tell that you decided this ain't serious right now. I need to focus on what is. And when an opportunity came up, you didn't slow down. I love it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brandon. I greatly appreciate that, man. We got some big things coming. Tell you something, y'all. Tell Tennessee they're gonna lose it when they see Swalo the hosting that Ghostface video with that long wrinkle.
I'm excited.
We got a monster right there, man.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we got a monster, man, and Luke Jones, man. I want to see that. I want to see that brother get off, man. I like Luke, man. He's dope, man. He's really dope. You know, just worlds need to hear him.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Luke Jones. You know what I mean? Big shout out to him.
Yeah,
And your
got
son
some things
too, man.
coming.
And your son too, bro.
That's a work in progress, but we're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna keep talking about it.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. So
Thank you, Born, man. Thank you, man, for making this
Yes,
happen
thank
for
you.
me, man. Yeah,
listen, thank you, and you're more than welcome anytime. You know,
Yes.
thank you. Greatly
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
man.
I was
Absolutely.
so looking forward to this.
So were we, man. And you
Yeah.
dropped some jewels on these people too, man. Just
Yes.
Right.
your story is insane, man. Insane. You're like the comeback kid. You know?
Yeah. You know, hopefully next stop. You know what I'm saying?
Rocky
We gonna do
Marciano and shit.
Yeah, no, man, let's do it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I Born. Yeah, I mean, give it up one time. I Born. Thanks again, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Dig that. All right, folks. So there you have it. Going back to college as an adult. You know, a lot of times the journey ain't always easy. There's gonna be bumps in the road, no matter what you do. It's, you know, just so happens that, you know, entertaining the masses is what we do. You know what I mean? We about that. And don't think that the journey's gonna always be sweet. You know, you can go from having a deal to not having a deal, and then being discouraged enough to say, you know, to hell with it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do my family thing, my life thing. But one thing I know about true artistry is that no matter how long you stay away from it, you never totally stay away. I've tried to leave the game on many occasions. And somehow, it always finds a way to rope me back in. So at some point, I just said, screw it. I'm not even gonna try to leave anymore. I'm just gonna embrace it and everything that comes with it. That's the mind of a champion. That's the heart of a champion. My man, Boss 10 has the heart of a champion. My homie, I Born has the heart of a champion. And before it's all said and done, Born's gonna walk across that stage and grab that paper. He did. Don't be afraid to try it again. If you feel it in your heart, as long as you can get up in the morning and you're above ground, pull out that pen and pad. Get the writing, get the producing, get the singing, get the rapping, get the dancing, get the telling jokes, get the acting, get to whatever your dream is. Don't give up on the dream. Don't give up on the dream. We can all go back to college. We can all win. That's it, folks. Another edition of Peanut Butter Magic.
Peanut butter magic.